Tell us your name, please.
Lisa Riley.
And how are you employed?
I work at University Hospital Samaritan Medical Center.
And what are your current duties?
I'm a registered nurse. I take care of patients. I have a role as a charge nurse also. I also have a role as a SAFE nurse. And I am a staff floor nurse. And I'm a triage nurse. We have many roles.
You wear a lot of hats.
Yes. I work in the emergency department, so it's varies.
Okay, how long have you been in the emergency department?
I started August of 2007 in the ED, in the emergency department.
Now you mentioned you're a SAFE nurse.
Correct.
What does that mean?
It's a sexual assault forensic examiner.
And what do you do?
If we have a victim that comes in with sexual assault, I specialize in that area. I will take care of that patient. I have had.
Now does that require specialized training?
Yes, it does.
Were you working on September 13th, 2016?
Yes, I was.
And did an individual by the name of Laurie S.A.F.E present at the emergency department?
Yes, she did.
What time did Laurie S.A.F.E present to the emergency department?
She presented at 10:20 a.m.
Okay. And where did she come from?
She came from the police department.
And is it your understanding that at the time she presented to you for treatment, that she had already been interviewed by law enforcement?
I don't know for sure.
When you saw her initially, what was her demeanor?
She was tearful. She was very nervous, just frightened.
And did she remain that way throughout the exam?
I did get her to talk a little bit, but she was rocking back and forth during the exam. She was terrified.
Approximately how long does the examination take?
Anywhere from 4 to 8 hours or longer.
So once the consent forms are signed and you figure out who's going to cover your other duties, what do you do?
I go in and do a head-to-toe assessment.
And what did you find?
I found numerous injuries. She had numerous bruises on her extremities, her arms, legs.
Okay. Did she tell you how those got there?
Yes, she did.
What did she say?
She said she was assaulted by SHAWN GRATE.
Do you take a history from the patient?
Yes, I do.
Do you do that before or after the head-to-toe assessment?
Before.
Okay. So the first order of business is to find out what the patient is complaining of, correct?
Yes.
And what history as to the injuries were you given?
I was given the entire events that happened to Laurie from Sunday evening to Tuesday morning.
Okay. Where did she indicate she was injured?
Numerous places. Her head was one. She had sexual assault, so she had vaginal pain, and she had numerous bruises on her extremities, her arms, legs.
Let's start here with the head pain.
Okay,
How did that happen?
She was struck in the head.
Okay, does it make a difference to you if she's struck with a hand, a fist, or an object?
Yes.
Okay. So what did she say about the mechanism of that injury?
She said that she was struck in the head with a fist.
Okay. And in just one place or multiple places?
Multiple.
And were you able to visualize those injuries?
Yes.
Okay. Did she have other pain outside of her head?
Yes, she did.
Where?
She had vaginal pain.
Okay. And what did she report regarding vaginal pain?
That she was raped.
Okay. Now, did she indicate what the mechanism of that injury was?
As she did.
And what was that?
There were several. penis, fingers. And that's,
Okay. So she indicated that injury had occurred to her vaginal area from penis and fingers.
yes.
Okay. Now, sexual assault isn't limited to vaginal intercourse, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. Did she report to you, for purposes of completing your examination, sexual assault in other orifices?
Yes, she did.
What are those?
She had anal penetration,
Okay. By what?
penis and fingers also.
Okay.
And she also had oral penetration,
By what?
penis and fingers.
Okay. And it makes a difference what an individual is assaulted with, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You would agree with me that things aren't supposed to, the anus isn't set up to accept things, correct?
It is not.
All right. So the size matters when somebody's assaulted in that fashion, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a high potential of injury in that kind of conduct?
Yes, there can be.
Okay. And did she have injury to her anus?
I do not recall.
Yeah. Outside of the sexual assault, you'd said she had injury from a physical assault to her head. Did she also report to you being physically assaulted in other parts of the body?
Yes, she did.
Okay, what were those areas?
As far as her head, she had a hematoma to the left side of her scalp. It was around, like right around this area.
And by hematoma, you mean
It's
what
like
we
a
call
collection of blood under the skin.
like a goose egg.
Correct.
Okay. What else?
She had bruising noted to her lip, upper and lower. She had a 1 centimeter scratch on the left side of her neck. And then below that was another centimeter scratch. And she had purple bruising. I took photos of these on the left side of her neck. She had bruising on her arm, her left arm. She had abrasions on her left finger, her thumb, I'm sorry. She had multiple bruises on both of her legs, her ankle.
Did she report to you how all of these occurred?
Yes, she did.
What was that?
As far as the scalp, she was punched in the face, or the scalp, I'm sorry, she was what she called, I remember saying, she was co-cocked is what she said. And I asked her to clarify that, and she said that he hit her in the head with his fist. He also had punched her in the mouth. She was choked. He bit her finger. She had described having many altercations as physical, like trying to get away from him.
You said she had an abrasion to her thumb?
Yes.
And that got there how?
She said that sorry. He would gag her with his finger to make her better at oral sex so that she would be able to perform oral sex better on her. You guys know what oral sex is, where he was trying to insert his penis in her throat. She was not good at it from his standards, so he was trying to make her better at it, so he would do that.
And in fact, she exhibits injury to one side of her mouth, does she not?
Yes.
Okay, and not the other.
Yes.
Were you present for a vaginal examination?
Yes, I was.
And were you able through that examination to visualize internally
Yes,
inside
I
her
did.
vagina?
I worked directly with the medical provider, and I was able to.
And did she have internal injury to her vagina?
Yes, she did.
What did that consist of?
She had abrasions on the the vaginal opening on the inside. When we go to insert the speculum, you can open up the speculum a little bit and you see the walls of the vagina. And on both sides, there were abrasions to both sides.
Unlike the anal opening, the vagina is designed to accept objects,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay. So, in the ordinary course of things, would you expect to find internal injury to the vagina from the insertion of some object?
No, I wouldn't. May I demonstrate?
Certainly.
The opening, this is like the hymen, the opening of the vagina. So it's a collar tissue that is very estrogenized. So it's allowed for birth, penetration, and then it's very elastic, so it's shaped and you can see as it goes back and forth. That's how the vagina works.
Okay. So ordinarily you wouldn't anticipate seeing injury.
No.
What does injury to the, past that opening indicate to you as a medical professional?
There was trauma, blood trauma.
Now, ordinarily, would you take a blood and urine specimen from a victim as part of a SAFE exam?
Not always.
Okay, what triggers that?
When I do my medical history, I will ask them. I will see if they were given any kind of sedation, anything, just alcohol, whether it's anything. In Laurie's case, I did have to perform a drug facilitated kit.
And why was that?
She reported that Mr. Grate gave her pills to relax her. She was too uptight.
Okay. And so that triggered some sort of urine screen.
Yes, and blood work.
Now you said that when Laurie presented to you that she was rocking, crying, appeared frightened.
Yes, very.
How was her hygiene?
Poor. She had very strong body odor. It was very strong. I remember it when I opened the door, I could just smell the odor.
Her condition as far as hygiene was concerned,
Yes.
did that appear to you to be consistent with that history of having been held since Sunday?
Yes.
Now, as far as treatment is concerned with reference sexual assault, there is always the possibility of pregnancy, correct?
Correct.
And did you discuss that in the treatment side of that potential with Laurie?
Yes, I did.
And what was the outcome of that?
It's a protocol that during this exam we give, first we have to do a pregnancy test to make sure that the victim's not already pregnant. And if it comes back negative, we give a pill it's called Plan B. It's to stop the pregnancy from happening. It doesn't abort a baby that's there.
But it would block.
It would block.
It would block the sperm
From reaching the egg.
from reaching an egg.
Yes.
Okay. And was there consent from Laurie to such a treatment?
Yes.
Was she concerned about the possibility?
Yes, she was.
How concerned was she?
She had made statements to me that she was scared that he could have gotten her pregnant, and she had made statements that she didn't know if he ejaculated into her.
Okay. You also, as part of your examination, ask patients whether or not they vomited?
Yes.
What is the purpose of asking such a question?
Just like a standard question.
Okay, but it could mean that there was some chemical given to them?
Correct. That made them nauseated.
Isn't it true that vomiting could also be a side effect of a head injury?
It could, yes.
Or it could just be some viral or
Stress.
biological process that they've got an illness or there's something going on there.
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Laurie such a question?
Why she vomited?
Did she?
Yes.
Okay. And once somebody indicates that they have, do you go further in your treatment, ask them what they think caused that?
Yes.
And what, in her opinion, caused that?
She gagged on his penis. And she also gagged on his fingers.
And that caused her to vomit.
Yes.
So she indicated to you she had done that multiple times.
Yes.
At the conclusion of the medical portion of your exam, does the patient, and specifically Laurie, was she kept at the hospital for a period of time?
I kept her there for a little while myself. Like after my exam, I let her shower, and we kept her there for a little bit.
And what was the purpose of that?
I like to monitor them for a little while for a few reasons, to see how they're doing, and also because she had injuries.
Okay. You indicated you let her shower.
Yes.
Did she have a concern? I guess with respect to showering?
She was very tearful, and she was very tearful that he had shaven a heart in her pubic hair.
And so what'd you do as a result of being provided that?
I gave her a razor just to get rid of it.
Okay. And did she do so?
Yes.
I believe within the medical records, it's also noted that there was fluid present in the vagina.
Yes.
I guess you saw this?
Yes, I did.
What did that look like?
It was a brownish fluid. When you're looking into, when you have the victim up, they have their legs kind of spread open, and you're looking back, and with the speculum inside of the vagina, you can see the cervix, and you can see like a little area there was some brown fluid.
Is that supposed to be there?
No.
What is that indicative of?
Generally, with fluid, brown fluid can indicate old, like blood.
Okay. So would that be consistent then with the abrasions that you saw?
Yes, it
she
would.
had internally? All right. So it's 246, 247. Who is that?
This is Laurie.
Is that as she appeared the morning of September 13th in your emergency department?
Other than the gown that we changed her into, yes.
Okay. Now you collected her clothing.
Yes, I did.
Is there injury, visible injury to her here?
Yes, there is.
Kind of that depressed area there is a bruise.
Yes.
Now, bruises darken over time, yes?
Correct.
Okay. So sometimes the bruising looks slight, I guess, to you when you first see a patient, your fresh ones.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
The scratch there that's below, just below the area of bruising you indicated in the exhibit. Did she say what that's from?
She had said that he had choked her. I don't know if it was from a fingernail or
Okay.
I don't know.
But if somebody's choked, they may or may not exhibit injury to the neck.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
And in this case, there is an injury.
Yes.
Is that consistent with the history that she was giving you?
Yes.
And what injury is documented in that?
This is bruising to her left arm.
Okay, and is that sort of in the center of the picture there?
Yes, it is.
So there's an area now that we've zoomed in, near the top of what we're seeing is sort of a large circular bruise.
Correct. This is the larger bruise. You can see 3 marks right here.
Okay, one appears to be sort of darkening up and the other 2 are red,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
What does that tell you as a medical?
The pigment of the skin is different for everyone, but it's different stages of healing.
What does that document?
This is Laurie's left knee with bruising.
Okay, and is that just to the right of the kneecap?
Correct.
It's sort of that darkened area?
Yes.
Right. And then is there also an area of bruising below the knee
Yes.
that's visible here? Sort of the center, lower quarter of that picture.
Yes.
Is there a bruise there on her shin?
There's about, yes, on the,
Area of discoloration there to the right?
yes.
I take it these, as you visualized them on the morning of September 13th, were apparent to you.
Very. I was able to measure them and
You didn't have to hunt to find them.
no, not at all.
Are there any injuries within this photograph?
Yes, there is. This
Where's-
is a better picture of the ankle injuries. It's the left inner is bruised. And you can also kind of see like an abrasion.
Is there injury documented within this photograph?
Yes, there is.
Where's that?
It is on like the mid, below the right knee, midway down. There's bruising.
The yellow area there on the right
Correct.
of the leg below the kneecap area?
This is bruising on the same leg. This is down on the mid area.
Down a little bit there, the area of discoloration is sort of in the center and then of the photo now as it's blown up and moved to the left as we indicated. Correct?
Correct.
With injury to the lower leg?
Yes.
What's that?
She was tied up.
Okay. If you were going to consent to being tied up, would you expect to take injury there?
No.
So what does that tell you?
She was being held against her will.
Does that document any injury?
Yes, it does.
To where?
Her thumb, left thumb.
And that view is of the top of the thumb?
Correct.
What is that a view of?
Her thumb also.
The other
Right.
side. And is that consistent with any history provided by the victim?
Yes, she said that he bit her.
Bit her thumb.
Yes.
Now, as part of a course of treatment at the hospital, did you also provide Laurie with something to eat and drink?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because there's a lot of medications you have to give them, which can cause nausea, upset stomach, and you don't want to give them. Not to mention she's been held captive.
Did she report when the last time she ate was?
Her last meal was on Sunday,
And again, this was what day?
Tuesday.
You indicated to us that Laurie arrived at 10:20 a.m.
Correct.
What time was she discharged?
She left at 19:25, which is 7:25 p.m.
So 10:20 to 7:25 p.m.
Correct.
All right. So you said 48 hours. You weren't kidding.
No, not at all.
All right. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Cross-examine.
I have no questions to this witness. Judge, thank you.
Thank you.